And so when you start in a marriage where you get to know that person and you don't have the poverty or any financial stuff to burden you with that, you are really truly equal and able to know your partner and get to love them and grow with them without them being, I don't mean any harm. Like, I don't mean, and I'm not saying that how these girls came off. Like, I think you're onto something. Their tone, their aggressive or possibly assertiveness in the way they came out and said, I want somebody with money. But can we stop down and dirty women who know and need that in themselves? Like, what is so wrong with a Black woman saying, I would like a partner who has money? And we don't say nothing about the poor white woman who is marrying for money. All those girls who go to a PWI, they go in looking for a man.
Okay, well, I want to interject something because I heard something else. I didn't just hear, are you interested in or would you prefer a rich man versus a poor man? That wasn't the question, and that's not what we're talking about. The question was specifically a rich man who cheats versus a poor man.
That's true. Yeah. Let's bring it back.
I have no problem, me personally. If I had a daughter, yes, I would want her to be looking for someone who brought something to the table because she's coming from a household, a family who's going to bring something to the table. But that's a very different conversation than saying when we put that extra qualifier on there that he's going to cheat because he is rich. That's not necessarily the case. Nor is it the case that a person, just because they are quote unquote poor, and I don't know how we're defining poor. I think maybe a video we're going to get to later talks a little bit more about that. But our poor men are not loyal. So
that's the truth.
We're talking about kind of two different things as far as I'm concerned. I don't think there's a problem with someone espousing to or wanting to have someone who brings something to the table. Nothing is wrong with that. But when you start talking about, and you specifically say, I'm okay with this person cheating and being unfaithful to me simply because he brings something to the table, I think there's something wrong with that.
Let me just say this. Can I just interject?
I want to jump in too.
I got to interject real quick. So for the most part, right, people cheat. They don't necessarily cheat in the beginning, right? Like, that's something that they kind of go into. So I hear what you're saying, and I think we're looking at it too literal. In the fact that, I think because we got women right now who are choosing to stay with cheating husbands, whether they got money or not. And that's something that women just do. Their men cheat and they stay. Now, on the other end, when she cheat, he out. But it's something that women do. They for the most part, women stay. Look at Hillary Clinton. Biggest cheating thing on the planet, went international. That woman stayed and she had the money to leave. So I'm just saying, even if you throw cheating in the thing, I'm thinking that they're saying, regardless, if he cheat, don't cheat, I would like for him to have some money. That's where I'm standing with them.
What you say, Miss Black Hollywood?
Well, I was having a conversation with one of my, she's not a friend, but it was a Nigerian girl. And we were having a conversation about culture. And she was saying, yes, like the men cheat. Like you expect, and especially in an African culture, if you have a husband and he either has wives or you expect him to have other girlfriends or other wives, but that doesn't mean that as long as he can take care of you and take care of what's going on in your house, doesn't really matter.